Hello, my name is Reyhan Yazdani. I'm an interdisciplinary artist and designer currently based in Vancouver. I tend to bring in processes of mold making or paper making and very hands-on processes of working with materials to my studio and my work. And some of the things that I work with include diaspora, how we work with or how we use language as a tool for control or as a tool for expression, and so many other things. Archival practices and the way that we collect and possess or represent collection of objects or images or stories. So those are generally the things that I work with. So the process of making often happens after there have been a lot of research or conversations in the studio or outside of the studio. There is a lot of inspiration that I get from just my background and family growing up in Iran. I bring in a lot of those ideas and questions and inspirations into my studio, but I also like to work with objects and materials that allow me to think through them and explore them further in a different format. So my studio has a lot of lingual, I think, explorations in it at the same time as material explorations. There are happening at the same time. I'm just moving on with both of these conceptual and thoughts and philosophical kind of questions, as well as the materials that I resonate with or I just collect and then explore things further with them. So the works that I'm presenting in this exhibition, they are a result of or part of research that has been going on for a little bit over 2 years. In my practice, it has started with lingual exploration of some untranslatable words. That was the initial, I think, starting point, but as every artist exploration, the direction change and shift as you work, or questions become more complex and they take us somewhere else. So the project actually shifted and changed to different modes of archival practices. Especially I was curious about the ways that some of the colonial or dictatorial archival practices are forming narratives and histories, especially like in the context of Iran or even in other contexts. So the direction changed towards material exploration that are in dialogue with those concepts, as well as personal exploration of my own archives as well. I'm bringing a lot of photographs from my family, especially from my mother and my sister, the maternal figures of my family, as these, as I'm reviewing and rebuilding and I think re-narrating the history for myself, for my generation, and maybe for other artists or the community in general. And that became a necessity in the lack of a true representation or a true history or narrative about specifically, I think, diasporic identities or identities that are more complex and more layered. I think this exhibition is a starting point similar to many starting points that are happening these days on other platforms for more complex or more nuanced conversation around diasporic identities or around histories, around our social responsibilities towards what is happening around the world. And in this case, it is in the context of Iran and what is happening in Iran. So I'm hoping that visitors and community members and other artists would, resonate with some of the themes that are explored in this exhibition, but also allow the conversation to go on and move on to other forms of, being, other forms of living together that is equitable and inclusive of everyone. So that's the hope, I think, for Iran specifically, but also all around the world, for everyone to have their own human rights, I would say, and hopefully the exhibition raise awareness towards that for both, I think, myself as an artist and other community members.